Sagittarius, I need you to stop everything you're doing right now because the universe just revealed something massive about your career that's happening in the next 72 hours. And I'm not talking about some vague, maybe possibly energy. I'm talking about a concrete window of opportunity that 87% of people miss because they're not paying attention to the signs. Everyone thinks career pivots happen slowly, but actually, the biggest breakthroughs happen in lightning-fast moments when you're brave enough to jump. And Sagittarius, your jump moment is literally right now. I just pulled cards for all fire signs this morning, and what came up for you made my coffee mug literally shake in my hands. We're talking about a career transformation so powerful that by December, you won't even recognize your professional life. But here's the thing. You have exactly 11 days to make the move that changes everything. The first card that flew out of my deck was the Queen of Cups, and this is where everyone gets it wrong. They think career success is all about aggressive wands energy, but for Sagittarius right now, your superpower is emotional intelligence. This queen isn't just sitting there looking pretty. She's the CEO who built her empire by understanding people's deepest needs. Sagittarius, your career pivot isn't about changing jobs. It's about changing how you relate to your work. The Queen of Cups is showing me that you've been operating from your head when your heart holds the blueprint for your next level success. This is someone who makes million-dollar decisions based on intuition and then backs them up with strategic action. But here's what's wild. This queen is surrounded by water energy while you're a fire sign. This means your breakthrough comes from embracing the opposite of your natural tendency. Instead of rushing forward with that Sagittarius fire, you need to slow down and listen to the whispers. The whispers are telling you about a career opportunity that involves helping others, teaching, or healing in some way. I'm seeing you in a position where people come to you for guidance, not because you have all the answers, but because you have the courage to ask the right questions. This Queen of Cups career pivot involves you becoming the person who bridges different worlds, maybe technology and spirituality, or business and healing, or teaching and entrepreneurship. The timeline here is crucial. The Queen of Cups doesn't rush, but she also doesn't wait when the moment is right. And Sagittarius, your moment is November 28th through December 9th. Mark those dates because that's when the universe opens the door you've been waiting for. Now, the second card that practically jumped out at me was the Hermit, and this is where it gets really interesting. Everyone expects career advice to be about networking and putting yourself out there, but the Hermit is saying the exact opposite. Your career breakthrough comes from going inward first. The Hermit isn't about isolation, it's about illumination. This card is telling me that you need to separate yourself from all the noise and opinions about what you should do with your career. Because right now, you're carrying everyone else's expectations, and it's clouding your vision. This is a time for deep soul searching about what actually lights you up. Not what pays the bills, not what impresses people, but what makes you feel alive. The Hermit carries a lantern, and that lantern represents the inner knowing that you've been ignoring because it seemed too risky or unconventional. I'm getting chills because the Hermit is showing me that your career pivot involves you becoming a guide for others. But first, you need to walk your own path completely alone. This might mean taking a temporary step back from networking events, career counselors, or even well-meaning friends who keep telling you what you should do. The Hermit period lasts exactly 21 days starting now. During this time, you're not making any major career moves. You're just observing, journaling, and paying attention to what genuinely excites you. This is when you'll discover that your true calling isn't in the traditional career path you've been forcing yourself down. Your breakthrough insight comes when you're alone, maybe during a walk, a bath, or right before you fall asleep. The Hermit is saying that your career pivot requires you to trust your own inner wisdom more than any external advice. And that wisdom is going to lead you somewhere completely unexpected. The third card is Five of Wands, and this is where the plot thickens. Most people see Five of Wands as conflict and competition, but for your career pivot, it represents creative tension and breakthrough innovation. This card is telling me that your next career move involves bringing different perspectives together in a way that creates something entirely new. Five of Wands means you're entering a phase where you'll be working with people who think differently than you do. And instead of seeing this as a problem, you need to see it as your competitive advantage. Your Sagittarius energy thrives on philosophical differences and big picture thinking. This card is showing me that your career pivot involves some kind of collaboration or partnership that initially feels challenging, but ultimately becomes your greatest strength. Maybe you're joining a diverse team, starting a business with someone who complements your skills, or entering a field where you're the outsider who brings fresh perspective. The Five of Wands energy peaks between December 1st and December 15th. This is when you'll encounter the people or opportunities that seem difficult at first, but are actually your golden tickets. Don't avoid the challenging conversations or the projects that feel a little chaotic. That's where your breakthrough lives. I'm seeing meetings where people are passionate and maybe even arguing about different approaches. And your role? You're the one who finds the synthesis. You're the one who takes all these different viewpoints and creates something innovative that nobody else could have imagined. The key is not to try to control or dominate these collaborative situations. Let the creative tension build, contribute your unique perspective, and watch how your ability to see the bigger picture makes you indispensable. Now here's where it gets really wild. The fourth card is Eight of Cups, and this is the card that's going to separate the Sagittarius who transforms their career from the one who stays stuck. This card is about emotional courage and walking away from what's comfortable but no longer serving you. Eight of Cups isn't about dramatic exits or burning bridges. It's about the quiet, determined decision to leave behind a situation that's emotionally draining you, even if it looks good on paper. This could be a job that pays well but kills your spirit, a career path that your family approves of but makes you feel empty, or a professional identity that you've outgrown. The figure in Eight of Cups is walking away at night, which means your career pivot requires you to trust your intuition even when you can't see the full path ahead. You don't need to have your next move completely figured out before you make the decision to leave what's not working. This card is showing me that you've been emotionally checked out of your current situation for longer than you want to admit. You've been going through the motions, maybe even succeeding by external standards, but feeling increasingly disconnected from your work. The Eight of Cups moment comes in early December. You'll know it when you feel it. It's that moment when you realize you simply cannot continue investing your emotional energy in a situation that doesn't reciprocate. And instead of feeling scared, you'll feel relieved. This walking away creates space for something much more aligned to enter your life. But you have to trust the process and trust that your emotional well-being is worth more than external security or approval. The fifth card completely blew my mind. Page of Pentacles appeared, and this is your practical action step. After all the emotional and spiritual preparation, this page is your green light to start learning something new that directly impacts your career trajectory. Page of Pentacles is the student, the apprentice, the beginner, who's willing to start at the bottom because they can see the long-term potential. This card is telling me that your career pivot involves going back to school, learning a new skill, or immersing yourself in a field where you're currently a novice. But here's the twist. This isn't about getting another degree or formal certification. This page learns through hands-on experience, experimentation, and real-world application. You're about to become a student of life in a way that directly translates to career advancement. I'm seeing you diving deep into something that combines your natural Sagittarius love of learning with practical skills that people will pay for. Maybe it's digital marketing, maybe it's wellness coaching, maybe it's something completely different, but it's something where you can start small and grow organically. The Page of Pentacles energy is strongest from December 10th through January 15th. This is your intensive learning period where you absorb information like a sponge and start implementing immediately. You're not waiting until you're an expert to begin. You're learning by doing. This card is also telling me that your career pivot involves working with your hands or creating something tangible. Even if you're in a digital field, there's something about your new direction that produces concrete results that people can see and touch. Now, the sixth card is the one that's going to change everything. The star appeared, and I literally got goosebumps because this is your destiny card. The star doesn't just show up in readings, it appears when someone is about to step into their true purpose. The star is hope, inspiration, and divine guidance all wrapped into one. This card is telling me that your career pivot isn't just about changing jobs, it's about aligning with your soul's mission. You're about to discover that your work can be a form of service, a way to contribute to the healing of the world. The woman in the star is pouring water, which represents the flow of inspiration and intuition. Your new career direction involves channeling something larger than yourself. Maybe you're inspiring others, maybe you're healing, maybe you're teaching, but you're definitely serving as a conduit for something meaningful. This star energy means your career pivot has a spiritual component, even if it doesn't look traditionally spiritual. You're about to discover that your work is your ministry, your way of making the world a little bit better. The star appears in your career story around December 20th, right before the winter solstice. This is when you'll have a moment of absolute clarity about your direction. It might come as a dream, a conversation, or just a sudden knowing, but you'll understand exactly what you're meant to do. And here's the beautiful part. The star promises that this career pivot leads to long-term fulfillment, not just financial success. You're stepping into work that feeds your soul while also supporting your practical needs. The seventh and final card is Three of Cups, and this is your victory card. Three of Cups represents celebration, community, and shared success. This card is telling me that your career pivot creates a ripple effect of positive change that extends far beyond just your personal advancement. Three of Cups means your new career direction brings you into community with like-minded people who become genuine friends, not just colleagues. You're about to discover what it feels like to work with people who truly understand and support your vision. This card is also showing me that your career pivot involves some kind of public recognition or celebration. Maybe you're launching something that people are excited about, maybe you're being acknowledged for your unique contribution, or maybe you're simply finding joy in your work in a way that others notice and celebrate. The Three of Cups energy builds throughout January and explodes into full celebration mode in February. This is when you'll look back at this exact moment and realize that your decision to trust the process and make the pivot was the best decision you've ever made. But here's what's most important. Three of Cups is a card of authentic joy. This isn't about impressing people or proving anything to anyone. This is about the deep satisfaction that comes from being truly yourself in your work and having that authenticity celebrated by others. Sagittarius, let me be crystal clear about your timing. You have a window between now and December 15th to make the moves that set everything in motion. This isn't about having everything figured out. It's about having the courage to take the first step towards something that lights you up. The universe is literally conspiring to support your career pivot right now, but you have to be willing to trust your intuition over your fear, your heart over your head, and your vision over other people's opinions. Oh, and members of my inner circle saw this energy building for weeks. They've been messaging me about major career breakthroughs happening for fire signs. The energy is that strong right now. Comments are absolutely exploding with Sagittarius telling me they felt this shift coming. You all have such incredible intuition when you trust it. Drop a fire emoji if you're ready to make this pivot happen. Your future self is counting on the courage you show right now. If you want to dive deeper into your personal career timeline and the specific actions that will accelerate your breakthrough, you know where to find me. But right now, just trust that everything is aligning perfectly for your highest good. Subscribe now, because this energy is just getting started and you don't want to miss what's coming next for your sign. Your career transformation is just beginning.